Hello and welcome to a Life in Digital Cannes special. I'm here with Casey Long, who's PR and Client Services Director at the Digital Voice.
Hello, Ed.
Hello,
Thanks
Casey.
for having me.
Thanks for having me and for hosting me and for all your help.
Of course.
So awesome.
Thank you.
So we are Wednesday?
We are at Wednesday.
Yeah.
Halfway or near the end for a lot of us now, which is kind of nice.
Depends how it's been. And I'm just so interested to take your take on Cannes because you've been here and you've been immersed in it so much. So what are the things that have surprised you, not surprised you? What's been the vibe?
I would say with surprises, I've been surprised at what I haven't heard actually. Okay. And I thought there was going to be a lot more conversations around sustainability and, in general, what companies are doing to address this internally and externally with what we put out there as an industry. So I think a lot of people thought it was going to be pretty high priority, and it's been surprising that.
Less so than last year?
Yeah, I would say so. Last year I felt like there was a lot of conversations around it.
It's interesting, last year was the hot topic actually.
Yeah,
and this year I would agree. I think I've had loads of conversations, it's not come up. What do you think's driving that?
Maybe it's a little bit of nerves, maybe it's saying too much that you end up getting in trouble for it or backlash around it. I think it's almost a little bit of that, not greenwashing, but what's the opposite? Where it's
it is greenwashing. Yeah, it is greenwashing. So that sense, like, are you being? Yeah, why are you doing this?
Yeah, exactly. So no one wants to be called out, but maybe it's actually just taking the leap anyway and pushing for it, and you've made the effort at the very least.
Absolutely, like all these subjects, there's no right or wrong. It's about it's sustainability. You've got to but you're right. People are so nervous to say the wrong thing, which is such a shame actually, because then people can say nothing, which is really
exactly. Everyone ends up clamming up instead of continuing to push forward and
freaking out. Yeah, that's it. And in terms of what has been hot, but it's been bloody hot, and now it's been really windy. It's been raining, which is kind of nice. But, what's been hot? What have been the things you've really loved hearing about?
Definitely some of the hottest things are, it's still AI, but this year feels a lot more like implementation and how is it actually being applied in a lot of different ways, rather than last year it was sort of everyone dancing around it and kind of tiptoeing, what do we do with this and how do we work it? So it's definitely being put into practice more, which is exciting. There's also been loads of conversations around retail media and how that data is now going to be applicable to people that are moving away from third-party cookies, and consumer privacy and consent, which, as it should be, is a major priority for a lot of people that are here this week.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I wonder if actually why, that's not an excuse for not speaking about sustainability, but it feels like it's been a really big year. AI has come so far.
Massively.
Obviously, creativity where it can is on the agenda, and then that kind of consumer privacy piece and data privacy piece has just come, and consent. I mean, that's that really kind of relates back to what we've been hearing about this year. If I looked at the year so far, they've all been subjects which have just been so front of mind for
as it should be, definitely.
Totally.
The future of the internet is definitely giving consumers and just people in general the ability to have control over where their personal, private data, all this time that we spend online and on apps, we should have a really clear idea of what it's being used for and where it's going.
Well, I'm sure you've been supporting lots of your customers who are talking about that. So.
Absolutely.
So it's been big this week. And I'm a Cannes newcomer.
You never know it.
No, thank you, I'm not new to kind of speaking to people. So you have some great advice for some. What would be your tips to people who are new? Because I think people are really nervous actually, but what would be your advice to newcomers?
Do you know what someone earlier this week in a similar Vox Pop interview, they had the most perfect breakdown for anyone that is coming to Cannes, and it's a third of, you want to be making new connections, thinking about driving your business forward, maintaining the connections that you've got, making sure you're seeing people that you know and have known.
And nurturing.
Yeah, exactly. And then a third on soaking up all the content, getting a feel for what's being talked about, what are those trending themes, and then 10% to be grateful, to enjoy this beautiful setting that we're in, to be able to work in such an amazing place. So that is definitely the best way to spread out your week. That and a bit of sunscreen, although don't know that we needed that today, but
And how have you formed? If you thought about how you've nailed that third, how have you got on?
I mean, it's still very jam-packed, but I honestly feel like I've ticked a lot of the boxes there. Luckily, it's leaning into a lot of networks every year. We have the Digital Leading Ladies Lunch, which is a great spot to maintain relationships that you've got. Equally, getting to connect with new people, which has been wonderful. and then soaking in a lot of the great content. Luckily, our clients have had so much wonderful content this week that we've been able to go sit in on, listen in on, and support them in that. So far, so good. And then the 10% definitely was this morning at 6 a.m. running into the sea and then running back to shower and get ready for the day. Yeah, that's my 10% right there. It was a lot colder than I thought it was going to be, but it was worth it.
All right. That's amazing. It's always such a pleasure to catch up.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you, Ed. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank